12th century, the Levant was a fragmented landscape. Small kingdoms warred, and the shadow of the crusader states loomed large. Out of this turbulent environment emerged a figure who would redraw political lines and alter the course of history: Salah ad-Din Yusuf ibn Ayyub, known in the West as Saladin. Born in Tikrit around 1137, Saladin's family belonged to a Kurdish military aristocracy that served the Zengids, a powerful dynasty that controlled much of Syria and Mesopotamia. He received a rigorous education focused on military tactics, religious study, and courtly manners. War was not just about brute force. It was also a complex game of strategy and negotiation. Saladin's early career was spent in the shadow of his uncle, Shirkuh, a capable general in the service of Nur ad-Din, the Zengid ruler of Syria. Shirkuh's ambition took him to Egypt, intervening in a succession crisis within the Fatimid Caliphate. When Shirkuh died in 1169, Saladin, a relative unknown, unexpectedly took his place as vizier of Egypt. In Egypt, Saladin moved quickly to consolidate his authority. He reformed the army, replacing the Fatimid troops with his own loyal Kurdish and Turkish soldiers. He restructured the tax system and began to dismantle the vestiges of the Shiite Fatimid Caliphate, slowly re-establishing Sunni Islam as the dominant religious order. This was not simply a matter of religious preference. It was a calculated political maneuver to tie Egypt more closely to Syria and the wider Sunni world. After Nur ad-Din's death in 1174, a power vacuum emerged in Syria. Saladin seized the opportunity, asserting his control over Damascus and gradually unifying much of Syria and northern Mesopotamia under his rule. Through a combination of military prowess and diplomatic skill, he forged a powerful and unified front against the crusader states. The culmination of Saladin's efforts came at the Battle of Hattin in 1187. Using superior numbers and tactical brilliance, Saladin's army decimated the crusader forces. The victory paved the way for the recapture of Jerusalem. Unlike the brutal crusader conquest of Jerusalem nearly a century earlier, Saladin's entry was relatively peaceful. He allowed the Christians to leave the city safely and allowed many to remain, subject to a reasonable tax. This act of clemency resonated around the world and shaped perceptions of Saladin for centuries to come. The loss of Jerusalem prompted the Third Crusade, led by European monarchs, including Richard the Lionheart of England. After years of conflict, neither side achieved a decisive victory. Richard and Saladin, two titans of their age, developed a grudging respect for each other. The crusade ended with a truce in 1192, granting the crusader states control of a coastal strip, while Jerusalem remained under Muslim rule. In addition to his military achievements, Saladin was a capable administrator. He promoted trade, supported scholars, and invested in public works. He prioritized justice and sought to create a stable and prosperous society. Saladin died in 1193 in Damascus. His vast empire was quickly divided among his heirs. Despite the fragmentation of his political creation, Saladin's reputation as a just ruler, a brilliant strategist, and a merciful conqueror endured. He remains a significant figure, demonstrating that military strength and human leadership